What's up? What's up, YouTube weirdos? You fucking weirdos coming out here on Sunday to watch Dugan. I tried to get everything ready for this live stream, and I realized I don't have any bottles, so I'm spitting into a plastic bag with a rag. I've reached rock bottom. What's up, guys? Yeah, clown suit stops virus. Yeah, no shit, right? I'm just teasing you guys again. It's just my little intro. Just teasing you. That's all I got. That's it. Sorry. Okay. So we are. Man, I keep reaching for a bottle. I don't have one. We are discussing TikTok. We are also, I should mention, this might be potentially, I don't want to say that it's going to be the last live stream because I've already said that multiple times. I've tried to stop doing this multiple times. The problem is that I've got a family member asking me to stop. So I might stop. Okay. Okay, so that being said, I'm not going to stop everything. I'll still make production video for sure and music. I may stop doing live streams. Okay? Now, this is about TikTok, okay? So if you're not familiar with TikTok, which I've never used it, it's, the flavor of the year of, fucking slave media that they put out to inundate you guys and fucking track your shit and trade around little boardwalk properties on your behalf, at your expense. That's what TikTok is. So Trump recently said that he was going to ban TikTok. He's considering banning TikTok. The reason being that it has Chinese ownership, right? That is the reason. And so because this is like a weekend event, I wanted to do a live stream to talk about it and kind of dig into it a little bit, and hopefully give you more exposure to the way to understand what we know as politics. So in the last, 5 hours or so, something like that, 12 hours, they've moved to permitting a acquisition by Microsoft. So if Microsoft buys TikTok, it won't get shut down, right? Now it's a fantastic example. The situation with TikTok is a fantastic example of how fucking whack job the American people have allowed the nation to become. And I don't know, it's tough for me to say because the American public is pretty quiet now. So it's tough for me to judge exactly what the real pulse is. Like most of the people around here where I'm at, they're just like they've given up. They're like, we're not, like the world's just like going. We're left behind. You know what I mean? That's how they think of it in general. They still got to get by. For most people, the like young people that go into cities and stuff, they're like, still trying to fucking find a way to hop on a train. Like an idiot. But I don't have a solid understanding of like the general American population that is in the middle of all this, that doesn't have a stake in anything other than their life, just like living and trying to be free. I don't really have an excellent pulse on where they're at. I know that they're getting tired, and by tired I mean angry. So the situation with TikTok, let's kind of dig into it because it's huge. Okay, so number one, the president shouldn't. This is what I mean. There's no fucking easy way to slice this fucking cheese here. Like so the president shouldn't be going around unilaterally closing down companies, right? In theory, right? Like in terms of how government relates, like government and business should be totally separate. That doesn't mean separate when it's convenient. That means like separate in absolute, absolutely separate. Like no quid pro quo, no fucking bailout, no fucking like regulation, like anything like that, right? Like they should be fucking separate. As soon as you start mixing them, anything that you do, foot in the door, and it's like finance takes over your government. And that's happened every single time in human history. Now that's just talking about it in terms of like understanding where the knife is here, right? Like I'm not saying that that's practical or that that's going to happen, right? Like we're pretty fucking far from that. Now, on the other hand, by the media always plays scarecrow arguments, meaning that they assemble and erect arguments that obfuscate what's really going on in order to create a false synthesis of, a false dialectic rather, of what the American public should think and argue about in a polarity. So like they'll kind of basically signal to what they call the left on, hey, this is what you should think, and then they signal to the right like, hey, you should think this, right? And this is exactly what's going on with this. It's everything. Everything is like that. But to me, it's really apparent. But what's really interesting is that now you're getting like crossover, right? So you're getting how it used to be, in the 1980s, the Democrats then were like the Republicans now. You know what I mean? Or I'm sorry. Wait, what am I trying to say? In the 1980s, the Democrats were like how you thought of Republicans like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And the Republicans now are like the Democrats in the 80s. And the dialectics that they're going through now in the media are doing like role reversal in real time. They're just like switching around, just firing off. I mean, it's crazy land. So with TikTok, you have the ideal in sterility where it's like the government shouldn't be able to go around shutting shit down, right? But that's in a vacuum, and it's not reality. The reality is that the government fucking made TikTok through the super state, not like the U.S. government, but the U.S. I guarantee that there's U.S. government funds somehow fucking roundabout getting into the funding of TikTok, and the fact is that you guys didn't need any fucking new social media. Like nobody needed anything. We already have plenty of fucking social media to hold us over for, the rest of eternity. We don't need any more. You can already take as many dick pictures as you want. And so the introduction of TikTok and this entire thing is just and being through a Chinese company, it is it's a setup. And that's why I'm saying that in the thumbnail for this video, I've got somebody it's a kid playing jumbo t-ball. And that's why I say that, because their shit is just so, I don't know what's more incredible, like how dumb their fucking dialectics are, or how dumb the American people are that they don't understand what's going on. But either way, it's amazing. It's incredible to watch in real time. So if we start to look at what is actually going on with TikTok, well, let's watch. So here's a video. We're gonna watch it on this other phone.
Looking at TikTok, we may be banning TikTok.
President Donald Trump said late Friday he would sign an executive order to ban TikTok in the United States, ratcheting up the pressure on the Chinese owner to sell the popular short video app. The move would be the culmination of U.S. national security concerns over the safety of the personal data on TikTok, which is handled by Chinese company ByteDance. Frantic negotiations took place on Friday between the White House, ByteDance, and potential buyers of TikTok, including Microsoft. ByteDance agreed to divest the U.S. operations of TikTok in a bid to save a deal with the White House, two people familiar with the matter said on Saturday. Sources told Reuters that under the new proposal, ByteDance would exit completely and Microsoft would take over TikTok in the United States and be in charge of protecting all U.S. user data. Neither the White House nor ByteDance responded to a request for comment. As relations between the United States and China deteriorate,
With respect to TikTok,
the app has emerged as a flashpoint in the dispute between the world's two largest economies. It was not immediately clear what authority Trump had to ban the app, how it would be enforced, and what legal challenges it would face. ByteDance's concession will test whether Trump's threat to ban TikTok is a negotiating tactic or whether he is intent on cracking down on a social media app that has up to 80 million daily active users in the United States.
Okay. That video was from Reuters. Okay. Could you guys hear the volume in that all right?
check out this 5-second
Oh,
clip.
shut the fuck up.
You know, in his book, Wealth and Poverty.
I feel like an old man sometimes when I'm using the phone. I'm like, what? What? How do you turn this off? So that video that we saw was from Reuters. I'm trying to find this totally sweet picture here. If I can find it. Is that it? Let me see. Reuters, the World News Organization. I'm trying to find the Rothschild plaque for Reuters. Am I gonna fail? Did I find it? Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. So here's the front side. This is the front side of the Reuters plaque. Okay. It says Paul Julius Reuter, born 1816 in Kassel, Germany, died 1899, Nice, France, founded the World News Organization that bears his name in number 1 Royal Exchange Building in the fuck does that say? City of London, near this site on 14th October 1851. That's the front of the plaque. The back of the plaque, this is the fucking good part. We're gonna have to zoom in a little bit. No, my cord is just fucked up. The backside, it's pretty interesting actually, like how the script is on here. I mean, it's like long. It's like a fucking wall of text. You see that? That's a pretty fucking gnarly statue for Reuters, right? It says, the supply of information to the world's traders in securities, commodities, and currencies was then and is now the mainspring of Reuters' activities and the guarantee of the founders' aims of accuracy, rapidity, and reliability. News services based on those, it's got a watermark over it, principles now go to newspapers, radio and television networks, and governments throughout the world. Reuters has faithfully continued the work begun here to attest this and to honor Paul Julius Reuter. This memorial was set here by Reuters to mark the 125th anniversary of Reuters Foundation and inaugurated by Edmund de Rothschild. So that's your... I haven't seen the one outside of BBC London. What's it look like? Does it got some Rothy stuff? I mean, Rothschild's own everything. Oh. So, anyway, Trump. Yeah, so Rothy. So Trump and this TikTok thing, it is a, it's an absolute. I mean, this is just a game. All of this is a game, and you're the player. You don't know that you are, but we are. If we look, so let's look up TikTok, right? So the whole idea is that TikTok, because of national security concerns, of which you have none. You have no national security, so why would you have a fucking concern? It's not like you would be able to fucking, like, you know, have any kind of say in it anyway, because you don't have any representation at all. Your government's been stolen from you, and you're cool with that, apparently. So TikTok is a Chinese video sharing. I'm referencing Wikipedia, the best, you know, fucking encyclopedia ever. You're right. Chinese video sharing social networking service owned by ByteDance, which is Beijing based, founded in 2012 by Zhang Yiming, creates short dance, lip sync, comedy, and talent videos and other related trash. ByteDance first launched Douyin for the Chinese market in September 2016. Later, TikTok was launched in 2017 for iOS and Android, and most markets outside of China. So in 2017, that's when you get like world dissemination of TikTok, as if we needed fucking TikTok like we need fucking 2 more holes in our head. And then it merged with musical.ly and went to the United States. Now, the stuff about who owns this is really kind of, it's not really, how do I put this right? So this is the flavor of what the U.S. government is trying to sell you. What they're trying to sell you is that there is a national security concern with Americans' data being stolen, as if the United States government gives a flying fuck about that, right? Like as if they give a flying fuck. You know, the audacity is incredible. They're concerned about your fucking personal informational security and OPSEC for American citizens. They're suddenly concerned about your Fourth Amendment because it has to do with China, right? That's what they're concerned about. But the whole thing is that like ByteDance, which is like the origin company that's making this, it's founded by Zhang Ming, right? But it's a multinational company. Their global headquarters is in Beijing, China. They've got another location in the Cayman Islands. Their chair is Zhang Yiming, but their COO, their chief operations officer, is Kevin Mayer. Okay? Kevin Mayer, I'll let you take about one guess on what kind of ethnicity that person is. Just kidding, it's a Jew. You don't get any guesses, it's a Jew. His name's Kevin Mayer. And he was the chairman of direct-to-consumer and international division for Walt Disney Company prior to this. He managed the acquisition of Pixar, Marvel Entertainment, Lucasfilm, and 21st Century Fox. That's kind of a fucking big deal, right? Like, in terms of the entertainment industry, like that's some pretty big dick plays that he's making there. Rolling out Pixar, Marvel Entertainment, and Lucasfilm, and 21st Century Fox. So this guy's like obviously connected. He's got alma maters in Harvard, San Diego State. He's got an MBA. Obviously, he's a millionaire Jew. I mean, that goes like with the territory, basically, at that level. And like, this is the COO. And then they have, you know, TikTok has a fucking office in California. So it's like, you know, let's cut through all the bullshit and let's say what's really going on. Okay? What's really going on is that the element of world government that is gaming the fuck out of the entire world is creating an exact parallel narrative of exactly what they're doing using a different race, which we view as, because in the United States we pretend like on a formal understanding, like in terms of the nation state policy, we don't fixate on race because we're extremely anti-racist, right? So they don't use the term race, they use the term Chinese. It's a race, right? And so they're taking another race and they're applying a parallel mechanic of exactly what they're doing that you would be fucking upset as hell if you understood what was going on. And they're just giving you permission to be upset at their, you know, selected little enemy of the month that you're gonna, of the I shouldn't say the month, I should say of like the generation that you're supposed to go up against, and you guys are supposed to fucking fight each other to the death. Them being the Chinese. That's what's really going on, right? Like that's exactly what's going on. And that is the reason that this is referred to as a Chinese company, and why it's suddenly this is the real reason that you needed a TikTok. You didn't need to have little short videos on a new website, on a new fucking social media where you could like waste your time not doing things that are important and do something that's not, that, you know, that's just gonna fucking inundate everybody else and continue to push the veil of fucking deceit and slavery that's over the entire face of humanity everywhere in the world. They just want you to continue pushing that. And so they brought you another TikTok social media platform, and it had to come out of China. And the reason that it got big in 2017 is because they didn't have any social media that they could rally against that came from China. So they had to create one in fucking China, right? So they fund one in China on the books, the legal offices in China, and they model it exactly like your social media here, enough for it to be successful. Then they seed and promote it so that you fucking retards pick it up. Then they can say, oh, there's a national security threat, we're going to try to take it away. Then you retards say, oh, we need to wear our fucking pants on our head and make, videos. I'm joking on myself because I did a video and some of my pants on my head. I'm just, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, I'm trying to be visceral here in my description so that I can really communicate like how dumb the situation is for human beings. Like we're retarded, I mean, this is like hamster level intelligence that we're operating at. The fucking, so people in the general public are complaining because they're like, I need my TikTok, like there's no fucking, what is the fucking difference between TikTok and fucking whatever else, Snapchat or whatever the fuck, right? There is no fucking difference, you know what I mean? Like you can't it's just fucking ridiculous. And the only reason that this came about in 2017 and you have a hot new fucking hot dog to jump on called TikTok is because they wanted to bring it to you from China so they could blame China and then cut off and cause confusion. So Trump's happy to do that because Trump's part of fucking world government and he's gonna fucking go down the script, no problem. So now he's fucking threatening to fucking shut it down. So it's a controlled opposition situation. His bosses own TikTok, and they fucking told him to say that. And so he's doing it. And then you know what that looks like to you? That looks to the American people when you look at that and you don't say anything, and you don't give pushback, and you don't say, hey, what the fuck? Like, we're burning down your banks now. If you don't do that, then it just keeps on going. And he's creating the impression that the executive branch is a monarchy. That's what's going on, right? So they're giving a slow construction of a monarchy model through the executive branch of the United States government, and then they're using the false animosity between right and left, which is parsed out for you guys so you understand like where to fall in line by the MSM and the fucking Senate and fucking private industry that's all practically owned by Jews. That's what's really going on here, right? And that's what this all is about. Now this goes into another topic here that I just saw this random video on YouTube. And that's not an exaggeration. Like the tech companies in the United States and internationally, they all have Jews in them. I mean, so, you say whatever you want. That's the reality. You go look up the management profiles in the board of directors, and you're gonna find ridiculous overrepresentation by Jews, right? And you're gonna see a lot of the same thing in the Senate and congressional personnel that deal with like these topics, because they're not really dealing with them. They're just creating a false path to lead you guys into destruction. That's all that's going on. They want to make sure that they make the loudest noise so that like everybody knows like, oh, they got that hallway. We can go focus on this bullshit that doesn't matter over here. Like they've got that. No, they don't have it. They're gonna fucking sell you out. You're going down. So Matt Gaetz, these fucking videos are just ridiculous. I mean, it's almost like, all right, this is a video that I saw, came up, it was recommended by YouTube. I don't have any like personalization on. So this is shit that like YouTube is just recommending, right? So this video is a Fox News video promoted by Fox News that is called "Gaetz Gets Into Heated Exchange with Google CEO." Let's see it. Let's see this fucking your fucking politician's veracity here. He's gonna be ferocious, I know.
In his written testimony, made the claim that Facebook is an American company with American values. Do any of the rest of you take a different view? That is to say that your companies don't embrace American values.
Are there any social medias that don't love America?
I see that none of you do. Mr. Pichai, I'm worried about
none of them do. Okay.
Market power, how it concentrates that power, and then ultimately
how
it wields it.
Yeah, the corporations, man.
A collaboration between Google and the Department of Defense. Google pulled out of, citing ethical concerns, and you made the
that's just code for communism.
Following receipt of a letter from thousands of your employees saying that Google
They're all
should not
commie.
be in the business of war. My
They're-
question,
oh.
Mr. Pichai, is did you weigh the input from your employees when making the decision to abandon that project with the United
Yeah.
States military?
Did you weigh the decisions of your employees?
As I said earlier, we're deeply committed to support
Oh,
the
man.
country and the U.S. government.
Look at that. They got him fucking hammered down right where they want him. He's in his fucking office doing a fucking remote video with the fucking Congress.
We make decisions
They really got his ass.
As a
They're-
company, we were
They're fucking
in the
they're fucking kicking ass,
space and
taking names and chewing bubble gum, and they forgot their fucking bubble gum.
Answer that you did take their feedback into account, and in fact, some of your Googlers have recently sent you a letter where they've asked you to exit other partnerships as a consequence of that.
That guy falls in line right there. That's a fucking. That guy's fucking squared away.
American law enforcement saying that police broadly uphold white supremacy and that
That's not even true. That's not even true.
any services to police, and as you well know, you provide some of the most basic services to police like email, but you also provide services that help keep our cops safe when they're doing their job. And so my question is here in front of Congress and the American people, will you take the pledge that
Motherfuckers.
Google will not adopt the
Take the
bigoted
pledge.
anti-police policy that is
ALS challenge.
Congressman, we have a
Pour an ice bucket out of your fucking balls.
working with law enforcement when it is supported by due process and the law. We push
Oh.
back against overbroad requests. We are transparent about the requests we get, but we
This fucking Pajit is fucking placating us and patronizing us. He doesn't believe in America.
I'm asking about the future.
Look, he's not. Oh, Matt's got him. Matt's got him pinned down. He's got him pinned down. He's gonna fucking.
Leadership, Google will not adopt
Matt's going home with the belt.
policies.
Congressman, we are committed to continuing to work with law enforcement in a way that's consistent with law and due processes in the U.S.
Well, I
What's that?
appreciate
I couldn't even understand your words. It didn't even sound. It sounded like
services.
Panglish, not English.
In the discussion about China, that your engagement
Go, China.
was very limited.
Oh.
But yet Google has an AI China Center. The Chinese Academy of Sciences has published a paper saying that enhanced the targeting capabilities of China's J20.
Oh fuck! You're in a fucking triangle bar now, bitch.
Universities that take
Matt's got ya.
millions of dollars from the
Go ahead
Chinese
and call your
military.
mama.
In fact, one of your Googlers, Fifi Lee, while under your employ,
This guy back here, he's fucking witnessing the fucking mayhem.
sleeping giant, when she wakes, she will tremble the world. The former Secretary of Defense, Mr. Shanahan, said that the lines have been blurred in China between commercial and military application. And as Mr.
See, that's just what happens in communism. These blur the lines, communism. They don't understand. They don't understand the fine principles of fucking international economics in my family's pocket down to my toddler. They don't understand that.
He accused you of treason. So why would an American company with American values so directly aid the Chinese military, but have ethical concerns about working alongside the U.S. military on Project Maven?
What do you think about that, Gurgle?
Those things, but Project Maven was a specific way to ensure that our troops are safe on the battlefield. And if you have no problem making the J-20 Chinese fighter more effective in its
Oh,
targeting,
fuck,
why
dog.
wouldn't you want to make America as effective?
You make a motherfucking Chinese autonomous fighters, but you won't fucking help the thin blue line? Shame on you!
I had a chance to meet with General Danford personally. We have clarified what we do in China compared to our peers. It's very, very limited in nature. Our AI work in China is limited to a handful of people working on open source projects. And
Man, I can smell his fucking fear.
the office
Finish him!
in China for
Gosh, I mean, when the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff says that an American company is directly aiding China, when you have an AI center, when you're working with universities, and when your employees are talking about China trembling the world, it seems to really call into question your commitment to our country and our values. I
Oh,
see my
Matt,
time's expired. I
hey,
hope we
you
have a
don't stutter. You sound like a faggot when you do that. Don't do that. Sorry, I was just trying to give you a helpful tip. Okay. No offense to faggots, by the way. Do you guys fucking get, like, what's going on? I mean, is anybody is anybody even breathing in the United States? Like, what the fuck is going on here? How is this even happening? So, hang on. I gotta put in more dip. I'm too fucking, this stuff like really gets me fucking fired up. It's just so evil. Like, how much do you think Matt knows? You think Matt knows? Does Matt understand everything that he's doing? Or is he that blinded by his personal, or is Gates a Jew name? Is that what that is? Is he a Jew? He understands what's going on? They if you look up Matt Gaetz, you're going to see about 1 million articles by Jewish authors in like random media talking about how he rubs shoulders with white supremacists. You know what I mean? So it definitely appears that there has been padding done, like as if anybody's, like, where are the white supremacists at? Like, that's my party. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even a fucking real thing. There's no fucking white supremacy. It's fake. You know what I mean? So they're padding the identity and association of Matt to like make the people that don't know what's going on be like, I guess white supremacy is not so bad after all. Like you know what I mean? With no understanding that this is just like a creation, right? Yeah, if he knows everything, he's like, these people need to get kicked out of fucking United States, guys. I mean, there's really no, I mean, how can you have a future with this kind of shit going on? I mean, this is so absurd. You could never, things are so bad. You could never get away with this stuff in like, you couldn't even get away with this in like World War II. Things have escalated so much. It's basically like a fucking WWF fucking wrestling show. I mean, they're cowards. Somebody asked me, Dugan, how should people try to counter the anti-Chinese China narrative that will flood the gun community when things go hot? I can picture it now. They'll call anyone who doesn't want to fight a coward. So what I would say, like, you have to come from a place of love, right? Like the shit that I'm saying on here, a lot of it's just for entertainment, right? Like I'm not really as crass as they come off in these videos. I just do it to try to fucking get you to watch the video, right? Because I've already switched the way that I communicate with you in entertainment. If you call this entertainment, I've switched it from being like comedy based to being informationally based, and it could get really dry. And so like I try to keep it interesting. And it's almost you have to get through to people's heads. You have to engage them in a way that they're not expecting, so that you bypass their control paradigm defense, which is pretty simple, because it's typically like, I'm looking for, like, if you're talking about gun community people, it's like everybody's commies, like, where's Trump? And then like you want to get past the fucking radar of like is he Trump? No, oh, he's a commie. I'm looking this way now. You want to like get past that, and then you can fucking deliver some information. But here's the thing, guys. Beyond communication, a lot of this shit, like, I mean, things are really bad. So, like, you guys are going to lose. I mean, you're going to lose the fucking country. Not only going to lose the country, you're going to lose large pockets of the different people that make up the United States. They're already kind of lost, but they're going to get, like, you have to be realistic when you're doing future planning for your life, and look at the situation and look at what's really going on. It wouldn't be intelligent if you're rooting for people to rise to the occasion. Like, you might be really disappointed. You know what I mean? We're not really working with the best stock here, and so I would plan, like, if you're planning realistically, you need to plan, worst case, best case, most likely scenario, right? Your worst case scenario is like this is gonna go full blown genocide at some point, like rape and genocide. That's like worst case, right? Like wiped out, and then maybe like DNA weapons that keep you from reproducing, so you're just like fucking nihilistically cut off from the world, multi-generationally. That would be worst case scenario. Best case scenario would be that like somebody's been recording the Rothschild's office for a decade and recording every politician's office for a decade, and they have about 15 terabytes of both video and audio recording for everyone that's involved in this entire fucking thing that spans about 2,000 people, and they're fixing to drop it. That would be best case scenario, right? Most likely scenario is that you're going to go to war with China. Well, that's what deepfake is for, right? So, so Matt Gaetz, right? So this guy, this motherfucker, Matt, if you're watching this, you're a fucking turd. Shame on you, bro. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're a fucking idiot. You need to get the fuck out of there. You should not be up there. This fucking guy he's pulling every single world government card. He's throwing up China. He's like anybody fucking likes Google anyway, Like, nobody asked for fucking Google. You fucking spooks fucking made the motherfucker in the first place. Then you forced it on us. Now Google's fucking everywhere. Like, I mean, I know that Matt knows this, so it's like, I'm basically just saying for viewers. To listen to someone that placates to the people that created Google and then have a little fake, look at how fucking impotent it is. He's like acting like he's grilling this guy. The guy's not even in the same fucking room as you. You fucking pansy. Like yelling over a fucking digital video. Like, that guy gives a flying fuck what Matt Gaetz says. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You have had a parallel government that has been created that is the actual government. It has all of the ass. You don't have any ass in anything that you elect. It's a fucking skeleton puppet show that is impotent. And all they're doing is placating so that you don't, like, fucking cut these guys' fucking heads off and scalp them and shit. Like, that's all that this is about. All this shit right now is just about that. Now they know that you're pissed off, so they want to give you somebody to scalp. They're going to give you the fucking Chinese, because that would be pretty fucking convenient. And that's exactly what's happening. Now, to listen to a guy that works for the people that created Google when nobody wanted Google, and to work for the people that created fucking China into modernity, that sent and robbed our fucking robbed our people of the infrastructure that they fucking put here in the fucking first place. Like, they put the fucking Industrial Revolution here to run their fucking cotton, their fucking African slave cotton enterprise, textile enterprise, international enterprise, transatlantic and Saharan slave trade, all that shit, so they could fucking connect us all, connect all the dots, and get us all singing to the same tune. And then they blame you for slavery. Then they have these little fucking dog and pony show, I don't even know how to describe what that was like. It was like watching somebody who's watching their wife have sex with somebody else. That's what that was like. It's just like pathetic. This guy is like, he's pulling every single world government card. He's guiding the American public deeper into the deceit of this false paradigm. He's fucking completely, he's lying. Everything he says is wrong. It's incorrect. And the result of it is that he's going to get he wants American citizens to die. Like, that's if he understands what's going on, he wants American citizens to die because he wants them to go fucking fight China. And they're gonna fucking die. You're gonna have a shitload of people die if you fight China. There's no reason to fight China at all. We should have nothing to do with China. China's fucking fine, or they were, before you got your fucking underpants tied together by world government. Now your fucking underwear are tied together in a fucking knot, and you guys are pulling away from each other like, "Arr, we're tied together, and they're like, shoot, and you guys can't fucking pull apart. You didn't do that. The fucking world government did that. This fucking Matt Gaetz motherfucker, Don Gates, his fucking dad, was a part of that. Yeah, we're gonna fight China. I know, my fucking Mandarin is expert. I tried to learn Chinese one time. It was not happening. I'm not there. I mean, well, now somebody says any country that isn't under control of world government is the enemy. Iran, China, Russia. So Russia and China and Iran are all under control of world government financially. They're not. Iran has pockets that are like. Fuck. I'll do Iran last. China is dependent on world government financially. They are entirely supplied by the network of central banks, both in money injections, but also in IP transfer, like between multinational companies. Russia is kind of like, I mean, through Putin, they've really gotten consolidation that is very tied in with world government, particularly through the religious aspect, like the esoteric religious aspect of rabbinicism. That's Putin. Iran is extremely confusing from my understanding. They have elements in there that are nationalist and nationalist elements, and they have elements in there that are Persian elements, like classical Persian elements. And so this is like a very deep identity. And it's not going to be shaken by, like a generation or two of like shift. Like they're very deep identities within Iran. And Iran is going to be a part of the Mahdi force. And so that's probably a good reason they've been kept around long enough is to be the Mahdi force. So they can do the Mahdi reign. But they are all financially, they're all financially tied up in world government. Like in terms of who's fucking collecting the check, it's world government, right? So they can, you can back off on collecting the check if you want, and it makes it seem like a country is more autonomous than it really is. But the fact of the matter is, once you pull the card, and you realize that you created a distended, unnecessarily complex, interconnected system that isn't really efficient. You were just like told it was efficient while you were getting money pumped into you, and you're like, yeah, that's efficient. And then they pull it, and you're like, wait, this is a clusterfuck, and then everything falls apart. Like that's reality, right? What it looks like when your wheels are getting greased, it can be kind of deceptive. Yeah, they're not going to let you dodge. It's going to be a do or die. That's how it's going to be. I'll let you guess where I'm going to stand on that. The situation with China and the American psyche is it's a very difficult thing to describe, to contemplate and kind of hold in the mind, like get a grasp of it. The Americans are so guided, like easily guided and led astray, that it's very difficult to get them to understand what's going on. The bad thing about the Chinese war that is unique is that this is going to be the kill shot for us. This is like our gut check. So they're going to go into it hi-ho diddle up the middle, and then like they don't have any intelligence. So the other thing about the Gates thing that we should bring up, because it has to do with this, is him using the relationship between Google providing services to the U.S. military. So if you're not like mentally handicapped, you should understand that a multinational company is not who you want to be doing your military data handling. That is what is going on for everybody in the world. It's pretty much retarded, but because they're all paid to say that it's a good idea, they just accept that it's a good idea, despite obviously that like gravity is on. And so the logical extension of that is that you have a multinational organization, multinational, right? Obviously does not have your nation's interests at heart. That should be fucking apparent by the fucking monstrous, identity that Google has created for itself willingly since its inception. It's not going to be any different in how it handles, state structures. And that should be readily apparent. It is a bad fucking idea to let fucking international companies handle your shit. Everything should be in-house. Like there's no, when you're in the military and you're doing combat operations on the squad level, on the platoon level, on the company level, everything's fucking in-house. Everything is in-house. Like everything, everything from it goes so far as like some units, like if you fucking murder somebody in a unit, they're gonna fucking wrap it up. Like it's never gonna leave the fucking platoon. It's never gonna leave the company. Like that's how serious the fucking company level takes it. Now I'm not saying that's not a judgment of like right or wrong. I'm just saying that this is reality. I contrast that with once you get up into like the fucking military intelligence, it's like, we put a message in a fucking bottle and then we shoot it down this line and we have no fucking idea where it goes. I do. It fucking gets pulled out in a fucking auditorium full of people and they'll pass it around and look at it and fucking laugh about how retarded you are. That's where it fucking goes. And you have no you have no operational security whatsoever. Your operational security is limited to whatever you don't fucking tell your superiors in the military. That's where your operational security is limited to. After that, as soon as you fucking tell chain of command, it's fucking gone. So like when you guys go to China and you deploy there and you're like out there with your fucking dicks in the wind with only each other to count on, and then suddenly you start taking like heavy casualties and losses, you can fucking think long and hard about where that came from. It didn't come from you having like shitty training or something. You probably did get fed shitty training on purpose, probably at this point, but that's not why, right? Like you could have done fine. The problem is that somebody knew what the fuck you were doing and they fucking shared it with your enemy. They didn't share it with the troops on the ground. They shared it with not even their military intelligence. They shared it with the commonality between your two nations. And that can be used any way, because you're not actually supposed to lose, right? You're not going to lose the war with China. You're going to win it. But you're going to have to get gut checked because you can't have an independent United States. The only way that you have the facade of an independent United States right now is because of the fumes of the hive from World War I and World War II and Iraq and Afghanistan. Well, surprise, surprise, fucking none of those wars made any fucking sense at all. Zero fucking sense. So little sense that nobody supported it. In fact, the most supported war out of all of them was fucking Afghanistan. Like between World War I, World War II, Afghanistan, Iraq, out of those wars, the one that had the most immediate support was Afghanistan, because they said Saudi Arabian hijackers attacked 9/11, the towers. Saudi Arabian and Yemeni hijackers attacked the World Trade Center. So we're going to go to Afghanistan. And then you guys were like, yep. And that was the most support. World War I and World War II, it took fucking years to get the American public to go. They did not want to go. Okay? This one's going to be even easier. China is going to be even easier than fucking Afghanistan. Like, that's how fucking lost you guys are. It's sad. And look at the country. Like, look at The United States is in no shape to fucking, you're in no shape to fucking be policing your own cities, let alone going overseas to fight a fucking existential war with China. I mean, what are you, fucking insane? Like, shit is barely, I mean, you have fucking, you can't even run the country. Like, it is batshit. Like, you have the, like, boogeyman world government elements running around fucking teabagging you from behind and then, like, running away, playing capture the flag with you. And you don't even know, you know? You think it's fucking China. I mean, it's, like, you don't stand a fucking chance. You're done. Unless you get radical fucking awareness of what's going on. And when you get radical awareness, because of the way that we've been trained as a society, you automatically go to violence. That would be a fucking mistake. A big mistake. You don't need to go to violence. The reason why is because you don't have a fucking solid foundation to fight from. Everything's been stolen from you here. Everything's fucking tied in. You have no fucking financial foundation. You have no fucking industrial foundation. You have no fucking agricultural foundation. It's all been turned into monocrop. Like, you're incredibly vulnerable. You need to fucking pull back, and you need to fucking, like, build in-house for like a decade. Then if you want to kick somebody's ass, you can, you know, have at it. Trying to do that now, I mean, you guys are fucking drunk. You're gonna get your fucking asses handed to you, and it's not because you're weak, it's because you're retarded. I mean, this is just the reality, right? Like, this sounds harsh. It's not harsh. I love you. I don't want you to die. Like, fucking wake up, guys. Fuck. Like, you need. I know that there's people fucking watching this that are like, oh man, I think Duggan, like, he might be right, but like, man, like, what, like, it doesn't, dude. We're gonna fucking lose everything. Like, you're gonna like, this is not just gonna be like like, oh, I don't get, you know, I think things will be a little bit different when I vote or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, your ability to just be free and have a family and, you know, like, exist and not be, like, molested by fucking world. Like, you're gonna lose fucking everything. They're probably gonna do fucking genocide. You can't fight. You can't even fight here. It's not gonna work. You know the only way. You know what it would look like if you fought here. You're gonna just destroy fucking everything, and everybody's gonna die. Well, that's like, you know. So imagine what's gonna happen. Like, okay, let's run through a scenario here, right? Let's run through a Boog scenario, right? So the Boog, if you didn't know this, is a government-introduced parsing term, you know, seeded into the internet to identify people. That's what the Boog really is. Okay. We use it ironically because it's, you know, they were so successful in disseminating it that people understand what we're talking about. So let's run a Boog scenario through. Okay, let's say that you got a bunch of fucking West Virginia Hilljacks, and they're like, we're sick of these fucking Chinese trying to take this bitch over, like, you know, commies, and we're just gonna take them out. Okay. So you go fight who you think are socialists. That's the front people, first of all. That's not the actual people doing this. Those are fucking disposable assets. So they mean nothing at all. So all your work there, you're killing just like it was for nothing. You're not going to change anything mechanically. Everything's still in play. Okay? All right. So let's say that you're a little bit smarter than that, and you're like, okay, we're going to... Now, that what I didn't get into was the response. So once this happens, like once you get some people dying, they're going to go fucking hands across America, like tearjerker, and you're gonna get like every fucking brainwashed retard is gonna come after you with everything they got. They're gonna come after you with fucking Apache aircraft. They're gonna come after you with fucking like civilian and military forces. Like, I mean, you can cause havoc. Like, I'm not saying that you can't be dangerous. I'm just saying that in the long run, it's not sustainable because you're gonna lose the population, right? So let's say you're a little bit smarter, okay, and then you start hitting like infrastructure or something like that. It's a fucking chain reaction catastrophe. You're gonna, I mean, people go without power. Everything's like running off of fucking the grid. Like you kill some power or something like that, or even like taking out bridges and shit. Like, it's gonna have, you're just gonna kill a bunch of civilians. That's what's gonna happen. A bunch of civilians, a bunch of old women and children are gonna die. Okay, and dogs and cats. Okay, now. Let's say now if you were smart, you would hit finance, right? It doesn't matter which way you go. Any target that you go, you're going to have massive civilian losses, right? Like you hit finance, it's going to go into everything. Especially if you hit them hard enough. You hit finance hard enough, world government's going to say, okay. And they're going to fucking disappear for a second. And they're going to fucking pull your pants down and step back and let you look at yourself. And then all these fucking weak ass people in the United States are going to look around and you're going to kill each other. You know, like you're going to go, it's your fault. And then you're going to be like, who can pay us? And then world government's going to go, did I hear my name? And they're going to step back in. They're going to fucking shell out the dough. This is what's going to happen. And it's going to happen fucking no matter what. The exact same mechanic that what I'm talking about is going to happen with the crash, with the controlled crash. Because you got to get the US dollar switched out for digital currency. So there is what I'm saying is that it's not tactically sound to view this as the traditional fighting model. You're fucking down. You know, you're down and out. What you have to do is you need to spend there is a possibility by the fucking skin of the teeth that you could get by if you radically wake people up and they start building independent infrastructure and create the awareness in society that we have a full spectrum war being engaged against the United States, being waged rather. I sound like an idiot. You have a full spectrum war being waged against the United States, and it straddles all domains from economic, sociological, technological. I mean, it's everything, governmental, societal, everything. And you have to, it has stripped you of everything that you have that you could stand on to be strong. And it has done so for the purpose of making you weak so that you fall in line. And understanding this principle and really understanding like what the stakes are, like you don't have good odds. Your odds are very bad. It's not looking in your favor. You're going to have to do fucking serious work, not yesterday, years ago. And you've got to create independent systems for people. That's number one. It has to physically exist, right? Like you have to physically create independent systems that are not reliant on a, apex system that you can have the rug pulled out from under you. And then the second part of that is you have to foster an environment, a social environment where the American public understands what's really going on and what kind of evil beast is up against them, and that it's not cool. Like you need to let humanity survive. You need to let people survive, and you need to pull back a little bit with your like fucking like satanic world government like fuck you pay me attitude, and he needs to pay taxes, and we don't need any taxes. We need to survive. You need to fucking pull back, and the only way that you're going to do that is from the ground up, through actual roots, like the people demanding, not going to politicians and being like, hey, can we get a coupon for freedom? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like you need to like stop fucking listening to them. You need to tell them to fuck off. When they come to tell you like nervously, like they're like, hey, we heard you guys are like making your own water. That's not okay. Can you stop? Like, it might be time to pull out the fucking tar and feathers. You know what I mean? At that point, right? Because you definitely don't want to placate to them, right? Like you don't want to give them any end and any fucking wiggle room. Now, if you can do that, then you'll be able to avoid violence and save lives for some time. If you don't do that, let's say that you keep on going on the same track, it's going to be fucking catastrophe. Like you're going to lose so many fucking people. You're going to have so much death and destruction in the United States. You're going to lose everything. That's not even including the loss of like what you hold ideologically. You're going to lose all of it, man. And you're never going to get it back. Ever. It's done. So you can either build something new now while you fucking can with the leftover scraps of what world government gave you. And you can pull yourself up by the bootstraps, or you can fucking ride a fucking I don't know. What's a really fucking fast motorcycle? You ride a fucking Mad Max motorcycle into the fucking oblivion. I mean, you guys get that? Like, you don't even have a government. This fucking Matt Gaetz guy is absurd. Yeah, you can ride a fucking Hayabusa into the fucking... You can ride a Hayabusa into the fucking abyss. That's what you can do, you know? Which is the direction that you're going right now. Like, you guys need to fucking wake up and realize that, like, you know... Like, you're fucking... I don't even know what fucking idolatrous material shit people are buying, but whatever. You're fucking Patagonia and you're fucking, like, you know... You fucking... Fuck, I'm so dumb. Your fucking Patagonia and your fucking, like, REI catalog and shit is gonna look... Like, you're not gonna... You may think you look cool when you stand in the mirror. You're gonna look really fucking stupid when you're a decomposing pile of fucking meat on the ground wearing the stupid fucking labels. You know? Like, the shit is not... Like, you guys need... Our priorities are all fucked up. Like, family units are being destroyed. Family... Like, people are being socialized. Wives are being turned against husbands. Children are being turned against parents. This is... And if you're religious at all, like, it doesn't really matter what kind of religion you're in. Like, what is going on is the antithesis of God. And so, like, you better fucking believe that it's not gonna fucking... Like, if you think you're gonna... Like, I'm just gonna jump on the side of the train and just, like, ride alongside it and, like, go to fucking Candyland, you got something else coming. Like, it doesn't matter. How I'm discussing this is, like, the course of, like, what will happen en route to your destination that you're on, you know? It's not actually gonna get there. Like, you'll sooner fucking get wiped off the fucking planet before this shit culminates. It's not gonna happen. Like, your never-ending fucking progression of perfection that is the opposite of fucking perfection. You're not gonna fucking get there. You're gonna get, like, fucking Jim Jones. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get Jim Jones. You're probably gonna do fucking temple prostitution. Sorry, that's probably over your head. I should have said that. You're gonna be like, this guy's a weirdo. I mean, as if you weren't already there on the second one of this video. Here's the thing, right? I'm waiting for you guys. At some point, you fucking naysayers out there are going to realize how fucked up shit is. You're probably going to blame me more soon than you'll recognize that there's a world government. But I'm going to fucking hold you to it. I'm going to hold every single one of you. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I am going to hold you to it. And I'm going to, when you try to fucking squirm and say and deny it, I'm going to say, hey, fucking hero. That is not what's going on. There's a world government. You need to fucking wake the fuck up. Stop being a pussy. You guys are all worried about material shit in your lives. Like, you're not gonna have a fucking life. Any way that you cut it, it's done, man. Your fucking kids. You need to be worrying about if your great grandchildren can have lives, not if you have a life. Well, it's not even about I told you so. Bra says you won't need to say I told you so. It's not even about that, right? Like, what I'm saying is that the shit is gonna get so uncomfortable and so cathartic in terms of its realization. It's going to manifest discomfort like people have never known, because we have been on a atrophied heroin drip for such a long time that like, there isn't an easy gradient to cross the threshold. And so what ends up happening is that, like, psychosis is an easier route, right? Like, it's easier to just go, like, it's easier to just look for money when the shit goes bad. It's going to be easier to search everywhere for, like, what seems like money is flowing through it, and then jump on it without any kind of ethic, right? The people who do that, they're going to be the people that are selected in whatever capacity they're in, whether it's like government apparatuses or private citizens or whatever. They're going to be the ones that are going to fight regular people and like purvey the organization of world government and unified society under tyranny. And you know, they're going to think at first, because of the way that they're accustomed to reality being with material apex control, they're going to think, because they're getting a bunch of equipment and shit, that, like, they're good to go. It's going to seem like that at first. When you first start attacking people, after a while, like, you're all gonna get hunted down and killed. You're all gonna get, I mean, you're gonna fucking die with no grave. That's just gonna happen. I'm just telling you. It's just gonna happen. Don't vote against humanity. Don't go against humanity. Don't take money over. You take the train of money and material over fucking people. You're gonna fucking lose every time. I don't have faith in humanity's intelligence. I think we're retarded, but like I do have faith in God, and I know that God will reveal to people's sight reality. And I don't know when, but it is a process that's already started, and it will continue to progress. And the people who wake up will be a lot more powerful than the people that are asleep. Somebody says, I swear the average Zoomer could get a notification from a social media company to kill someone. So this has already started. It's not through social media at this point. It's through the government when they do. It started as Amber Alerts. Then you had, I mean, it's gone, depending on the state, it gets ridiculous. They tried to do like green alerts where it was like concern about veterans, like help us locate this veteran. They tried to fucking pass that shit. I fucking called up the state center. I was like, are you fucking insane? Like, if there's a fucking war vet that isn't found, like, he probably doesn't want to be fucking found. It's probably a bad idea to go try to find him. You know, like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? You know, this is a fucking grown person that you sent them when they were a child to go fucking get their hands dirty on your behalf so that you could destroy this fucking country. And they come back and try to rationalize the reality that they saw with your fucking clown world. And it's a little bit much for the human brain, you know? And so they're like, you know, maybe they don't want to participate in your fucked up society because it's unethical and immoral. And maybe they'd rather fucking stare at the floor than fucking look at your dumb fucking mug. And then you want to like make a green alert system to fucking turn society into a bunch of fucking infrared sensors that like beep 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 go off and fucking turn the fucking state apparatus against people. Like, you're fucking insane. It's sick. You are the enemies of the United States and the enemies of God, and the founding fathers would fucking scalp your ass. You think because you're getting by right now, because everything's inundated and confused by money, you think that this is the way to go? Like you're getting a whiff of the way? You're not. This is all fake. All of this is set up to fail. It's going to lead you into absolute destruction. I don't believe in religion. Somebody asked me what flavor of Christianity I am. That's why I said that. Yeah, at this point, the world has accepted that spirituality and, you know, God is like not real. That's all going to turn around. God is going to begin to reveal himself in interesting ways through people, and it's going to be a slow, ongoing process. But it's already started. It's going to continue to go. It's very small right now, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't really know, but it's already started. You're going to have sight on, you know, opened up so that people can see the world, and whatever the final purpose is the final purpose, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Salt Puff's over here like going off about aliens all the time. Yeah, the crazy thing about waking up is it's actually fantastic. It's you wake up and there's basically nothing that can touch you. You know, like when you wake up and you realize that you don't even have a body. You're just, you know, in a fucking flesh prison, pretty much. you wake up and then the world starts revealing itself in different ways, and you start to see things that people don't talk about, and it readily exposes the mechanics of how people work, because they're so unnatural and so against the way, and it puts you in a place, at least for me, like speaking for myself, it puts me in a place where, you know, like I'm not worried about being right. I'm not worried about being wrong. I'm worried about fulfilling my purpose and watching very carefully everything around me and trying not to miss too much, because I know that I can't see anything at all other than what's granted to me, and it's really disturbing and humbling at first, you know, the transition, but it's the only way that I'd have it no other way. Of course I can recall, but we're not going to talk about it. Okay, so Thomas asked me, how can we find our own purpose? You don't have your own purpose. You have a purpose. All you have to do is stop listening to people. Stop listening to people and look by your own sight. Your sight, Thomas, your sight that you have is not an accident. You're created very purposefully, and the effect of people around you, the construction of world government and all of its slaves going all the way down the chain into your municipality, are all people that are vying to and competing to attempt to build their own version of the throne. And your recognition of your sight is absolutely dependent on you realizing this paradigm and understanding that it is not the way, and to step out of it and to realize that you have everything that you need already granted to you, and that everything that you would ever need in material is readily provided for you in the world. The only thing that's standing in the way between you and that are the enemies of God. And they're everywhere. And love is the way, love is the path, and by which can be very confusing in terms of like rationalizing that with self-preservation, the sense of self-preservation. But by letting go of like what you thought you were after, and understanding that, coming to the realization that your actual drive was manipulated and diluted and poisoned by the impingement of a bunch of other people competing to build their own little gimped version of the actual throne. That was the reason that you've struggled so much. And if you can realize and understand that, like, all of that will go away at someday, all of that is going to go away, and they're not going to be there. You know, like they're not going to make it to the throne, and it's not the way, and no one is permitted to. What I'm saying is that there could be a Chinese man on the other side of the planet right now that is going through an experience where his perception is changing, and that sometime in his life before he dies, if he's paying attention and if he's able to understand that what people do in their behavior is in reaction to something else all the time, and that what they're reacting to could be many different things, but what influences their repertoire of like go-to reaction is their model of like direction of where they're going. So there could be a guy on the other side of the planet that's Chinese that doesn't speak the same language as me, and we've never met, and theoretically, like, we could be like reciprocals. We could be each be waiting for and watching carefully and letting life unfold in front of us, the world unfold, and watching for our place, and those things could line up like a key. And nothing is off limits. Everything is the only thing that's impossible is the road that you choose to never look down. All right. Anything? Last comments or anything? I'm gonna wrap this up. Maybe should we read you guys want to read a scripture for the closing of this? I do. That's kind of a rhetorical question. I think I'm going to read from OJB because of the topic of what we're talking about. Let me find a good one here. Bear with me, guys. Sorry. My internet's like super gimped. I don't know any pagan scripture. Man, this is hard to navigate. Well, we've got, I don't think we have the OJB might be that might be difficult for you guys to understand. You want OJB or do you want the like an English version? Oh no. Let me try to go to desktop website and see if that works better. Very anticlimactic. I know the perfect one. We're gonna find it here, if at all possible. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Let's find a good spot. I'm gonna find a troublesome spot here. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna read Ezekiel 20:30. I'm gonna read a this is a common Jewish Bible version. I'm not gonna do OJB because it can be really confusing. So tell the house of Israel that Adonai Elohim says, you are defiling yourselves in the same way as your ancestors, following their abominations and fornicating with them. And when offering your gifts, you make your children pass through the fire and defile yourselves with your idols to this day. So am I supposed to allow you to inquire of me, O house of Israel? As I live, says Adonai Elohim, I swear that I won't have you inquire of me. And that what you have in mind when you say, we will be like the Goyim, like the families who serves wood and stone, will not at all come about. As I live, says Adonai Elohim, I swear that surely with a mighty hand, or Yad, with a stretched out arm and with poured out fury, I myself will be king over you. I will bring you out from the peoples and gather you out of the countries where you sojourned with a mighty hand, with a stretched out arm, and with poured out fury. Then I will bring you into the midbar of the peoples and judge you face to face, as I judged your ancestors in the midbar of Egypt. So will I judge you, says Adonai Elohim. I will make you pass, this one says crook. I will make you pass under the crook and bring you into the obligations of the covenant. I will rid you of the rebels who are in revolt against me. I will bring them out from the land where they are living, but they will not enter the land of Israel. Then you will know that I am Adonai. Amen. I think about that. I think about that one a lot. That entire Ezekiel and Isaiah. Yep, Ezekiel. Now it's important. I think it's important to read that because of the subject matter, right? This isn't a ideological thing. All right. I don't even believe in religion because there is no religion. There's only God.